finish it when we get her all roughed in. The first step here is we'll cover this little baby with dye. Ta-dum-dee-dum. Stuff stinks to high heaven. I don't think it's probably good for you to breathe, but I'm breathing it. I think a fella could get a high off of this. You talk about sniffing glue. This stuff here must be pretty dang close to glue. I don't know what's in it. I'll tell you what it smells like. It smells like when my mom used to put fingernail polish on her fingernails. That's what it smells like. Okay. We got her coated with the dye can. We'll let it dry there a few minutes, and we'll find our center. You painted up your face and rolled and curled your tinted hair. Flywheel, are you contemplating going out somewhere? Ta-dum-dee-dum. Let's see, it's dry. Let's find the center. Got our classic center finder here. Very advanced tool. You don't find these just everywhere anymore. We lay that across there like that there. Scribe a line across her. Then we'll kind of turn it 90 degrees or so. Hold her in there, scribe another line. Yes sirree, Bob. There's the center of our wheel. Now we'll mark her up for the rim here. We'll go out to the center part, which will be a couple of inches. Start from the center. Measured out 1 inch on the radius. Come in a little shy of 1 inch, so we got some room there. So then we're a little less than 1 inch, so that'll be our rough cut. And we'll finish it up later. This time around we don't have to leave the hub sticking out. It's flush with the wheel, so it's going to cut the whole center out. So let's take it over, put her in the lathe, and we'll get with it. Here you have the flywheel marked and chucked up in the lathe. We're going to take a pass here. We're not going to film all the passes because that'll take us a while, but we're going to go ahead and put her in forward gear, fire up to, I suppose, about 1500 or so. We're going to go in a 1/16 of an inch, 0.125, 125 thousandths. We're set on the outside right now on the top of it. We'll set our marker wheel here to 0. Okay. Get our measure it with our calipers to make sure we got her right there. Flywheel is roughed in now. 1/4 inch on the rim. The other side should be 0.375 here on the width. We're gonna take that down when we clean her up. So we got both sides roughed in, and there should be, just sitting there, the end of the crankshaft going around like that. We'll put a hole in it too, so we can get the crankshaft in there. You always have to do that. Okay, there she is. Fun, fun, fun. To finish up the flywheel, we got to put a hole in the middle of it and tap it. And we'll do that here with the chuck in the tailstock, and we'll chuck the wheel back up in the headstock. Set our machine to move forward, which is counterclockwise, and turn it on. Start it turning. And we'll come forward and we'll get the center drill and we'll start a hole right in the center. There she goes, looking good. That's three. Good start. Alright, we got our hole started. Now we'll chuck up a number 3 drill for, we're going to tap it 1/4 inch. And that takes a number 3 drill. We're going to drill a hole clear through that sucker now. Okay, we'll change the centering bit there for a number 3 bit, and we'll be off and running. Okay, we'll try and put it on the tripod over here and see if we can see that a little better. First thing we're going to do is put a little cutting fluid on our drill bit. Okay. Put our lathe in the forward position. Get our tailstock ready to go. Fire it up. In, head a little, back out, do a couple of cuts, get the tips off of there, a little more oil, get it all over the place too. You can tell the difference as you're doing there, when you got oil on it. Let's hit her again. Well, it's a little different than using a regular drill. The work is turning and not the drill chuck. Either way it works. Alright. Put a little more oil there on the tip. Put it back in. Alright. I'm going to drill all the way through with the number 3. This is the right size for our 1/4 inch tap. Okay, I'm pretty through the part. And now see her on the other end. Okay. We got her out of there. That's it for that hole. Now we'll tap it partway through, not all the way through. Shut everything down here. I always put the lathe back in neutral so I don't go the wrong way. I have to think about it every time I start it. on a step, because I did that a while ago back on something and kind of screwed my piece up. Not good. We got a 1/4 inch by 28 tap in there now. And we'll bring this down a little bit, but we'll keep it so we can still slide it. I like to bring that tap in with my tailstock so I can still put pressure on the tailstock. And I do this by hand. I'll turn it by hand as I put the pressure in there to get it started. Bite going, I back it up a little bit every once in a while just to knock the chips off. Make sure we're going in there all right. We want nice threads in there, and we don't want to bust our tap off. That's for sure. We got to start this whole thing over again. Okay, let's put a little tap oil in there. We're going to tap all the way through because we have to ream out a bit of a 0.251 here for the part that's not tapped. We'll do that in the final step. Right now we're going to tap this whole friggin' deal all the way through the hole. Okay. We now have a hole with threads all the way through to the other side. This guy could write a song like that. All the way through to the other side. No one anymore in there can hide. Or something like that. C, F, and G. Those are my favorite chords. First ones I learned and about the only ones I ever learned. But that's the way it goes. Sometimes I start stuff and I don't stick with it. Ask Marlene. She'll tell you all about that. Okay, let's back our thing off. Maybe we'll do that with power. We'll put her in reverse. And we'll back the tap right out of there. We've checked up the chucking reamer, 0.251. It's a thousandth over 1/4 of an inch, which is 0.250. And we're going to go in 1/4 inch, 1/4 of an inch here. We got our tailstock tightened down, and that's going to be 4 turns of the tailstock wheel here. So I'm going to put her in forward gear, turn it on, fire up the revs. Just put a little oil on there too. A little tapping oil just for grins. Okay. Bring up our speed. 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's our 1/4 of an inch. Back it out. Okay. Should be ready to go. At this point, we're pretty well finished with the base and the flywheel. We'll clean that flywheel up and the base after we're finished with all the parts. Take a little steel wool to it, chuck it up in the lathe, and clean everything off and kind of take these rough edges off. But there's the flywheel, and here's the base. Completed the specification. So we'll put a wrap on this one and move on to the crank wheel. All right, making progress here. Here's our crank wheel, made out of a 2-inch piece of bar stock, round bar, and it looks pretty much that's the way the flywheel looked when we started. We're going to go through some of the same processes here, putting the holes in a few different places, and we're going to form this baby up. About all the work on this thing will be done in the lathe. We're finished pretty much with the mini mill when we finish up with the base and the upright. So the rest of our work will be mainly on the lathe, except for a little manual filing and cleaning up with steel wool and that kind of thing. Okay, let's get started. First thing we'll do is put our die back on the crank wheel. Gonna have to face it just like we did. In case you were wondering. Alright. Let her dry for a little bit. Okay, we're going to face it now. You'll be able to see a little bit of it there on the camera. We're in about 4,000 of an inch. There we go. We'll face down until we just get rid of the dye on there. And we're in pretty good shape. Got one. Still another 3,000. And maybe 4. Well, we're getting there. Only 3,000. Not to be bothered. Just keep adding pieces still. Now we're okay on the center, and we're getting her down there. Let's go again, taking it to 3,000. Gotta be awfully close. We've got a little bit more to go there. But we're getting there. So let's go. Let's take another 3,000. Well, I think that'll do her. I think that's just good enough for government work. Yep, we got her. Hallelujah, we got her. To tell you all the absolute truth, that's such a beautiful piece of work. I hate to keep messing with it. Could just stick it in my pocket and carry it around with me as a good luck charm or something like that. But oh no, we're going to keep at it. Got to put some more, put a little more juice on it. Find the center. Time to make the hub, don't you know? My friend Phyllis always says, don't you know? Of Norwegian descent, Phyllis is, and raised up there in Fartville, North Dakota, northern Dakota. Me and Clarence used to call it when he was still alive. He's gone now, my good friend Clarence. And we called it Northern Dakota, and they still have a lot of Nordic accent up there. If you've ever watched that beautiful, wonderful movie, Fargo, I call it Fargo too, rather than Fargo. If you've ever watched that, you know what I mean. What was his name, Odegaard? William H. Macy played the car salesman from Minneapolis, also of Nordic descent, with a beautiful Norwegian accent. Yeah, you betcha, you know now. Yeah, then. All right, let's let that dry and we'll find the center. Well, be ready to roll again. Our dye's pretty well dried. Even the stuff I got on my fingers. Oh well. We're going to do our center finder trick on it now. Using our super duper expensive, high priced $2.98 center finder thing here. Lay that in there like so. Scribe a line across here with our stirrup. Scribe. And we'll go around this way. Do the same thing, and where these lines intersect ought to be the center. If it isn't, why, too bad. Something isn't right if that happens. Geometry of the world is screwed up. Pascal or one of those guys, somebody made a mistake. That should be right, smack dab on the middle. Put another line across as a check. Maybe one more to look like a piece of pie. People think I did this on purpose and say, Lordy, why'd that guy put all those marks on that thing? Okay, that's close enough. Now we want to measure out from there. We need another 1/2 inch hub on this, but it's not indented. It's only 0.125 sticking out from the rest of the flywheel. Not the flywheel, the crank wheel. So now let's take our ruler, come off the center, put a 1/4 of an inch away from there since we need a 1/2 inch total. And I'm going to go a few thousandths more than that. For my rough cut. And I'll cut it to spec later, after we do the rough cut. All right, back to the lathe. I move the lathe around to get a little better view of the action there. I've chucked up the crank wheel, scribed my line around the center by just turning it, and I set my depth to 0 there. I'll bring it back out to the rim, to the edge. Then we'll start cutting in there. We need to go 0.125, 1/8 of an inch. Because all this one sticks out and there's no rim. Okay, we'll take our first cut at 0. Okay. Forward. On. bore you with this. We'll cut her down and then we'll get back to you. Well, we overshot a little bit on our hub. We got it milled out around it okay, but that hub should be 1/2 inch, and we got a little overzealous there. And I don't know if you can see this or not, but we'll take a look at it here. Here's a 0.462, 0.462.5. So that won't hurt anything. We'll have a little thinner hub than we wanted, but what the heck? Shit happens, so to speak. All right, I think that'll do it for today. I think we're going to get rid of this apron. We're going to go inside. We're going to make ourselves a scotch and enjoy the rest of the evening. Ciao for now.